Hello and welcome back to module number 13 tutorial on how to complete your key work environments task. So we're going to start obviously with the PRISM report, your PRISM Career Match reports. So once you get access to your PRISM Career Match reports, I'm going to just explain to you which part of the report we're going to use in this session. From your menu you'll see section number 5 here. This corresponds to the work preference profile, and for this specific task you're just going to use section number 5. So let's scroll right the way down to section number 5, and here you will see two key pages on page 10 and 11 of your reports. And in this particular part of the report, what we're effectively looking at here is the measurements of your work preferences. So these are the kind of preferred aspects of the way you like to work in terms of your overall behavior. Now, the way that this is specifically plotted is that if we just zoom in for a second here, we'll take the first work preference, and this work preference is being cautious but not fearful, making careful, well thought out, astute decisions. So this is a description of this particular work preference. And to the right hand side you'll see a simple bar chart which is represented in terms of the avoided preference to the left hand side and a very strong preference to the right hand side, to the extreme right. Your specific score is depicted by the red bar. So the further across the red bar to the right, the stronger the specific preference that you have to that particular type of behavior in terms of work preference. So the way to basically use these two pages is to literally review each of the 13 work preferences and then identify from that which are your three strongest ones. Now clearly the three strongest work preferences are going to be the areas where you have the strongest red bar, i.e. the red bar that is moved towards the extreme right, where you have a very strong preference. So have a look at these and see and identify which are the three strongest. And then obviously look at and start to read the specific preference description. So in this instance we know a very strong preference for me here would be being cheerful, talkative and outgoing with strangers, having a strong need to interact socially with others for most of the time. So if this is a good description of me, which it will be, having completed the questionnaire accurately, then I now need to take that insight and be able to think to myself, well, what are the types of careers and job roles where this particular type of behavior is likely to be used more often than not? And so the purpose of this exercise is to be able to identify your three strongest work preferences, and then be able to think about what are the types of jobs and careers where those preferences will be used more often than not. You can also take a quick glimpse at the areas where you're showing a very small red bar, and these represent avoided preferences, which basically means that these are the types of work preferences that typically you wouldn't expect to enjoy or thrive in or flourish in. So there's some good insight here on two pages, but for the purposes of this exercise, all we need you to do is to go through the 13 different measurements against the work preferences and identify your top three and then complete the task on your learning journey. As usual, if you've got any questions whatsoever or you need any support or help, just click on the Coach Conversation button in your journey and there'll be somebody there to be able to help you along.